Wryce, he's proving that he can keep up with all of these other controller players that have got quote-unquote aimbot. I mean, what's stopping the other guys? Just jump in and get it done, boys.
Just get good. Just
get good.
It's as simple as that. You know, as a lot of people have told me in the past, just get better. Stop complaining, just get better. But lads, we got some maps here. We don't complain about the maps because the maps are always fun for us to enjoy. We get to see some more live fire coming in. This is an oddball version though today for us, Hoots. So I'm excited for us to see how these teams do play on live fire. You know, teams like Malicious and Dethruptor fans about whether or not they, you know, value things like the tower, or whether or not they want to play towards A, you know, the A little window, or whether or not, you know, they like to rotate and move around the map, because we've seen a few different oddball strategies coming out today. So I'm interested to see how these teams play, how they play across the entire series as well. But lads, enough chitter chatter from us. It's time for us to look at some competitive Halo. We've got Malicious as well as Dethruptor fans vying for a shot at the Chiefs.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, Luke, and you mentioned just that little window in the garage there on A. There's nothing more frustrating than solo queuing in ranked and trying to constantly push that cubby there with no real communication from your teammates. If no one's on voice comms, it's a real lesson in patience. But we are starting off here with Bradlls pushing through for the snipe, and we see this all the time, Justin. But it is really just Shrekmin manages to just grab that and get out of there straight away. He is dropped, unfortunately, with the snipe. So the snipe will sit down bottom middle where the ball is, and we do have 3 down for Malicious right now. So a strong start here from Dethruptor fans. All 4 dead. Time to pick up that ball, you'd think, and let's see where they move it.
Yeah, and we're talking about it before, the mouse and keyboard. Now he's got that sniper rifle. He's opting to actually use the scope, which is pretty uncharacteristic. Managing to find one head, easy kill for him. Only a few more bullets to play with. Slaps in that fresh mag, doesn't connect on the body shot, does go down. Now on board with Apollo, flashing shields, trying to hold the players at bay. Gets a nice connection on the grenade, but iZayv just comes in and gets a cleanup anyway. And Clusey, a lot of pressure there. Raider taking him down, Jordan getting an easy cleanup. Look at that, it's just cleanup after cleanup, Hoots.
Yeah, it's a frantic amount of deaths at the start here. It's you know, it's every team's sort of been 3 or 2 down for the entirety of what we've had so far. Finally getting a bit of a reset here, and it looks like Malicious is starting to set up in this garage. So that's where Dethruptor fans took it. They were able to get a little bit of time on the board, but Malicious is saying, no, we'll be happy to hold it here as well if you want. And we do see these pillars become so handy here when holding the ball, as we have Zayv here. And we did see him play objective pretty heavily in our first series of tonight, Justin, where he was also getting the kills but was happy to hold the ball. And I really like this rotation here, moving over to B, using the cover here, and he's in a position where if he needs to, he can play ball it, but has a few teammates supporting. Unfortunately, he's dropped, loses that snipe as well. It's going to stay on the map, it doesn't fall off. So Dethruptor fans now taking control of the ball, but they only have 2 alive, so it's 2 alive for each team. And this ball's just doing a bit of a tour of the map right now. It started off bottom mid, it's been through to garage, it's heading to B, and now it's thinking I might head over to C and have a look there as well.
Yeah, and Shrekmin with that, we've seen him do it a few times now. He gets a couple of shots with the Mauler and then just does the weapon drop to keep people out of his swamp and take them down as quickly as possible. And it seems to work out really well for him. And I like this. A lot of kills, teammates going down in the kill feed. So he's just opting to be patient and value his life, calling out the players and get them off to the respawn. He's trying to sniff out the player, can't quite seem to find him. And there's Bradlls with that Mangler and the camo, getting a nice little assist there, looking for the next victim. Plenty of ammo to play with, and scoreline's pretty even at the moment, Hoots. Each team just going back and forth. Bradlls utilizing that camouflage perfectly and just valuing his life, going for those easy kills and easy assists for his team. And Wryce is just Wryce, sorry, in a little bit of trouble there. Shrekmin able to get the cleanup, and Bradlls just playing good fundamental Halo there, using his angles, using that camo to full effect. Great stuff from him.
Yeah, and most importantly, Malicious is starting to put a fair bit of time on the board. So we did see that, you know, Malicious initially, I think it was, Dethruptor fans took it to B with the intent to hold it there, and you'd assume play ball it if they weren't able to get control. They weren't able to do that. The ball then moved over to the tower at C, and they were looking to play ball it there as well, but couldn't do it. So this ball's managed to stay alive for quite a bit of time. I do say that now and see it has spawned back down the middle, so it must have been play ball whilst I was talking, but there was a big chunk of time there by Malicious being able to put that together while Bradlls had that camo and was just patrolling that brood area really well, putting shots in and just keeping the Dethruptor fans from being able to make any kind of push on the ball with any kind of decent shields.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rattles, he'd been a bit of a caster's curse there. He'd been alive for so long. And Shrekmin here with that fresh sniper rifle, 5 bullets for him to have playtime with 5 minutes of playtime. And he's rolling through. I love that he's utilizing that ping too.
Yeah.
And he's just calling that out for his teammates, and he doesn't need to clog up the comms, and he can just give them exact coordinates. Hits the body shot, double body shots to put him down. And it looked like he might have hit the third one as well. Another player there. And Shrekmin grabs that ball as well for a little bit of a rotation. 2 more bullets to play with, and just doing so much damage for his team, already rotating through, and he gets himself a camo to boot, Hoots.
Yeah, that was, it looked like that was about a 3-man push from Dethruptor fans when Shrekmin had that snipe out, and I think he maybe got a 2-for-1, not in terms of kills, but another fantastic kill there on aqolllo, but he was just dropping shields everywhere. I think one of the Dethruptor fans had to pull back, but look, 3 dead for them right now. Last alive is Jordan here. He's going to try and just get out of there because Shrekmin's just been really going on a tear, and I think he's probably been the standout player from everyone we've seen so far tonight, Justin. He's just been able to go on these runs where he just catches fire and is just putting non-stop damage out on everyone, but more importantly, especially in these objective games, just really stopping players being able to get at their objective players in these oddball games. So look, they're putting in a big chunk of time now. Malicious only need 10 seconds left to be able to take out this round, and perfect use of the play ball. Then he got the call out that the players were coming in, jumps off, manages to stay alive, almost killed himself as well, jumping off, got the clamber, but dropped. But perfect use of the play ball there. Only 9 seconds needed for Malicious now to take this first round.
Yeah, but still, it looks like Dethruptor fans have managed to get some ball time. Here comes iZayv coming in for the cleanup. aqolllo going in for the challenge. Doesn't matter. iZayv takes him down, and look at that. More points on the board for Malicious. They only need a few more to take out this first round. Raider just rotating it through the tunnels. Only 1 more to go. First round going in favor of Malicious, Hoots, but I'd have to say it was pretty back and forth for a good portion there. Dethruptor fans not out just yet.
No, not just yet, but Braddles was really doing a fantastic job there, working with Raided. High slays from both of them coming through, and it just seemed Dethruptor fans couldn't really get the slays on the board. And we're seeing again, you know, a push here to this snipe at the start from Braddles. He's clearly one of the ones who's trying to get that in his hands, along with Shrekmin from the first round. But the ball pretty much being ignored right now as players are setting up with 2 down for Dethruptor fans. We might see Malicious start to make another peak, although we do have him dropped as well. So a bit of a stalemate here to begin with, and we might get a look at this camo as attention might turn to that before the ball.
Yeah, and Raided here. He's got that heat wave in his pocket. Doesn't opt to grab the ball just yet. Getting some kills first. That camo is up. They can't let that fall in the hands. It's no good getting the ball if you can't hold your setup, because the camo player comes in and takes it from you. Raided versus Jordan, who comes out on top. Jordan with a cheeky little peek, managing to get it. He's flashing shields, desperately trying to stay alive, but he gets double naded by iZayv as he comes in, and Wryce coming in for the help as well. Finds himself one. Shrekmin with a nice duck and weave, taking him down, and now on a board with aqolllo, who managed to scoop up that camo there, putting shots into Raided, opting to try and stay alive. Assist comes in. I love that he trusted his teammates would get that that kill and that ball there. It is Nade City down there, Hoots. I'm not sure I'd want to go down there.
Yeah, we've finally got a second on the board now. It seemed the whole focus was just on securing that camo. Everyone was ignoring ball. Ball's finally actually come out of the spawn now, although it's been play balled, so we're straight back down to where it started. So, you know, we've been playing for quite a while in this round so far, and we're only in the single digits for both teams, but it looks like we now have Malicious a little bit set up on the C tower here, or around the C tower, but they are dropped, so the ball is just still hanging around the Brutes, the C tower, and it just seems that there's just a crazy amount of players and everyone's being dropped on both sides. And finally, we have Shrekmin, who's able to position on top of the tower here, hold ball, and he'll be in a pretty good position here with some support below him. I think we have iZayv down there putting in some slays, as well as some control, looking like they're setting up for camo. So fumbles the play ball a little bit, but good collection there, and you see perfect timing, gets rid of it just as he gets swarmed by 2 players, and the ball's going to go back down. If Dethruptor fans want it, they're going to have to go down and get it, but we do have camo in the hands of Raiden. Look at this. He knows he's just got a mountain of players, and
oh no,
there's not much.
There was another
there,
player
really
behind him there, Hoots. He had the perfect situation to pick up an easy double kill, and there just happened to be one more player behind them. Just saw him poke up where he's farting out grenades there, unfortunately. Bradl's managing to grab the ball. Rotation coming through. Good opportunity for them to get a nice big fat stack of points. Bradl's opting to rotate it around the ramp area here, maybe jump up into the tower and see what's going on. And Bradl's 21 seconds of ball time at the moment. Only one kill though. It does look like Shrekmin and Zayv have been taking them all out, and Bradl's just doing a bit of dirty work for his team. He does sneak himself one. Does get taken down though. There was a little bit of a misstep on Bradl's part. I mean, he's safely up in the tower. Don't poke your head out for too long, mate.
Yeah, but that was a huge out-BR by Zayv then, stopping an initial grab from Dethruptor fans. So it looks like they've had a few lucky spawns down in the brutes, and they've been able to push up and get this ball there because they were 3 down at one point. So they are setting up around this seat, but I really like the route here from Shrekmin coming around here, providing some great support with the plasma pistol, and picks up a double, and he's going to just get it off the map. So yeah, look, dies there, but a perfect move of what he was supposed to. He knew they weren't really in a position to maintain solid control on that C tower, and so he just gets in, throws the ball off the map, and again, you have to fight down in this really, this pretty messy cave system here. But he grabs a sniper, goes for the swipe, doesn't connect, unfortunately. But at this point, with this kind of lead they've got, and given we have had such a scrap to pick up that ball at the very start, Repulsor down there trying to get the pancake, I think, from above. But time starts to become a little bit of an issue for Dethruptor fans now, and Raiders really starting to heat up with this snipe.
Yeah, it is, and that was such a tough angle there, looking down the little cubby hole at the ball, trying to connect on Snipe. That's a really hard shot, and here we go, Raided. That's a little bit of an easier shot for him. A lot of players down in the kill feed, and Raided still has a few bullets to play with here. The ball's just still chilling down bottom mid, and good opportunity. Malicious rotating that ball around, and here comes Raided. He's got a couple of bullets to play with. That sniper finds himself Apollo. Apollo doing well with his cover. Will he be able to take him down? He does. Wow, great stuff from Apollo. He utilized his cover and then pushed the advantage when he saw the reload. Great stuff from him. Now Jordan, with that camo and the heat wave, it's going to be a good opportunity for Dethruptor fans to push themselves back into this game.
Yeah, and we have seen Wryce has been holding this ball for quite a while now, and they're bringing themselves right back, only about a 10-second difference, and he's holding in that little cubby there in the A garage. So they managed to get a fair few slays and Dethruptor fans and set up to get a bit of chunk of time, but look at that, Malicious just comes straight back out, and when Shrekman's got that sniper, you're always going to be in trouble. He comes and single-handedly shuts that hole down, and now they're just set up perfectly in this garage here while they're racking up time with Zayv holding ball. Zayv can slay and hold objective. I mean, he's far and away the highest objective player, but even in this round alone, 10 kills, so pretty diverse. When you can have someone strong on the objective and the kills as well, it's a pretty big blessing, and he's starting to rotate this through to B now. He is dropped, and we do find Dethruptor fans are pretty well set up around the ball now. Almost a no-scope there from Shrekmin. He's taken down, but they're able to get a good set of time there, Malicious, and they're now put about another 30-second gap in front of them and Dethruptor fans, with only about a minute and a half to go, Justin, which is just important to mention.
Yeah, and you know what? And just having a peek at the slays here, you're talking about Zayv. I mean, what an up-and-comer. And he's, basically top of the leaderboard. He's almost there in kills and objective. What a monstrous player he's proving to be, and making his way all the way to the pointy end of the tournament. Shout out to him. Now we're jumping on board with him. He's manages to get one kill and getting some more of that objective stat line. He does get taken out straight away. Bradl's with that sniper now. One more bullet to play with and finds the head of Clusey. Sit down, mate. Enjoy the respawn screen. And Bradl's blood in the water goes for the ball as well. Instantly goes to rotate it over to an area he can safely hold down and play if he needs it. Heatwave comes in. Bradl does not hesitate to throw that off the map. And now Apollo, he does get those 2 kills to break the setup, but the ball's played, so he's got to get down bottom mid with that Heatwave, bounce it off the walls and try and keep Malicious off it, Hooters.
And Malicious are pretty well set up they were set up pretty well in this cave down here, but I think they've started to shift their focus over to the brute field instead. So they were taking a few of them down, and Dethruptor fans, they really need to start moving. There's 35 seconds left. They're down by 34. We do know that when you hold the ball, the countdown time, it does stop. So if they can get a good chunk of hold time in, they've still got a bit of time, even if they are killed, to come back and get it. But at this point, I think if you're Malicious, do you start to just try and purely hold them off the ball? I think that's what I'd be doing, Justin.
Yeah, he could. There's not much time left on the clock, and look at this. Wryce desperately trying to stay alive and get some ball time. They really only have opportunity to get a little bit more points on the board. It's do or die at the moment. 9 seconds on the clock. Not much time to go, boys. Someone's got to get their mitts on that ball. Otherwise, it's all over. And the timer has stopped. The ball is on the move. Look at this. Dethruptor fan making one last final stand here, Hooters. There's only 4 seconds left on the clock. And Dethruptor have the ball in hand.
Yeah, but we do have a snipe. If Shrekmin can just get one pick with this snipe on the ball, then it's game over pretty much. They're set up around C really well, though. They are coming back actually really hard. They're only 5 seconds down.
It's coming quick. Here it comes.
But look at the setup as well. They're in no position to make a move on this tower, really. They're all stuck down at B, and they're going to now take the lead. So at this point, I drop it straight away, and they do. They play ball. That's going to be game over, I think.
Wow.
Dethruptor fans, incredible turnaround. They were dead to rights on that, and they bring that round back. So, you know, that was a long slog to get to that point, but all credit to them. They just got a fantastic setup on that C tower to be able to do that. And now we go into a game 3. And, you know, this is a reverse of what happened to Malicious in that first series that we saw at the start of our broadcast tonight, where they were coming off the real momentum swing in game 2 after a come from behind win. What do we see Dethruptor fans doing now?
I don't know, but that was not a 200, it was a 2000 IQ play. They really played it well. And you know what? 4 seconds on the clock, just throw it off the map. They'll never be able to come back. And they managed to keep their tournament lives going. And Clusey now helping his team put some points on the board very early on. That camo player trying to stay alive. Clusey doing well to hold down this area of the map, and the other team not able to rotate through. iZayv with that camo, ready to break the setup. Only getting a little bit of a burst there, and it's like, you know, didn't give away his position, but he could have. He was a little bit in no man's land there, Hooters, and now rotating through. The ball was played. Perfect grenade down on the player rotating through. Should be an easy cleanup, does find one, and there they go. They get rewarded with the ball, and Malicious, they got their ball time coming in. Look at those grenades trying to flush him out, but doesn't matter. iZayv's already on the rotation. He's got plenty of help, plenty of buffers, and Shrekmin with the sniper rifle. Let's see if he can take some heads.
Yeah, he's lining them up. It looks like they are coming through that B-side door to the garage here, so he's going to just be hovering around this pillar. It's kind of hard when you've got 3 guys looking at you and you're just trying to no-scope people, but, you know, creates a bit of a distraction there for Raider to start cleaning up. Nice there, Melee. Unfortunately, he's dropped, so all 4 dead for Malicious there. Dethruptor fans holding ball. I think they're starting to move it back towards the C tower. No, they're holding it in A, so that A cubby they're going to go for. You know, C clearly worked for them well last time, but it's probably a bit too much of a risk to try and take it across the entirety of the map to go for that same setup. Camo popping in 10 seconds, and we do have bradlllzzzz here looking to make a move into A, but look at the stack in there. 3 of them just sitting in there for Dethruptor fans, putting protection on this ball, and they're skipping out to a really nice lead here, about to hit the 50-second mark. Jordan holding in that cubby really well, putting some melees down with the ball. Unfortunately, I think he's dropped, so Clusey, the last one alive, and it looks like Malicious have been able to come in and disrupt this setup for a bit of time, which they definitely needed, because we did see Dethruptor fans going on a bit of a run, Justin, so looks like they're going to now have their turn holding the A garage.
Yeah, and we just saw that previous round. Leads are so fragile. The points just rack up so quickly, and you got to make sure that you're not too comfortable, you don't get complacent, and you just keep playing until the round's over. Otherwise, you can see another team clutch it up. And as we say that, Malicious, they do take the lead in this one, Hoots, and crossing that 50-point mark, and it's racking up really quickly. And it doesn't seem like a lot of pressure from Dethruptor fans is coming through to stop this setup. They aren't going in just yet. They may be looking for a next power-up, maybe a power weapon to help break this setup. And that ball is on the ground now. And iZayv, he knew that power weapon was ready right for the taking, and goes in, scoops it up, doesn't manage to connect on that 3rd shot for the kill. He goes down now, board with bradlllzzzz, finding a kill. And bradlllzzzz just going, did that sticky get on me or not? And he turns around, doesn't. Double kill for him. Triple kills there if he wants it, but no, the heat wave sending him back to the respawn screen, disintegrating him instantly. iZayv smells blood, going after the player. The ball's there just sitting on the ground, but Zayv's like, I want the kill first. Doesn't manage to get it. He's still alive? What is going on? There he is.
Out of nowhere. It's just, yeah, I think the repulsor then almost blocked the melee somehow. But yeah, this game has all of a sudden gone really close as well. The pace has lifted considerably from the last round, where we ended up going all the way. Look, we're over halfway for both teams, and we've still got 3 minutes on the clock. So this game, it looks like we're going to probably get to a 100-point result at some point. The ball's reset because it has just sat there for quite a while. No one picking it up. But I love the snipe coming through there from Shrekmin. He's been the one holding this snipe down the whole time here, and he's going to look to put a bit bit of protection over this camo as we see Rated going for it, and that's perfect rotation of the map there, Justin, rolling around, providing cover for Rated to get that camo. He'll pop that in now, and they're going to maybe be able to try and get in on this Dethruptor fans ball hold, as we see Dethruptor fans not really in a huge position here to make a move to see. They're just going to throw nades. Jordan somehow staying alive for a little bit longer than we thought. Nice no-scope connection there. Can't finish up, unfortunately, but geez, if you've got a sniper on the map, get it in the hands of Shrekmin, Justin.
Yeah, he does seem to connect on a nice shot when it counts. Does get that cleaner onto Wryce as well. Shrekmin turning up for his team. Scoreline may as well be completely even. Anybody's game at this point. Heatwave going into Shrekmin's back pocket. He's really utilizing all of those power weapons, Hoots, and doing well with every single one of them. And now we have aqolllo putting points onto the board. Just opts for a rotation. Look at this, going around over to the tower, senses that the pressure is coming in, and he can scrap so much ball time just by running in the opposite direction. Look at this. He's under a lot of pressure, desperately trying to stay alive. Will he be able to make it up into the tower, Hoots? And he does. He just scampers up there with a sliver of health, and that nade just comes in, the god nade, just coming down and taking him out.
Comes out of nowhere. He managed to get across most of that brute field completely untouched, which I didn't think he'd be able to do, and it was only a really perfectly placed nade that finally took him out, but that ball sitting there at that C tower, and this is where Dethruptor fans were able to do that last minute charge and really put the game away. And hey, they've only got 10 seconds left and they're holding ball to be able to put this one out of reach, and this C tower is where they want to hold it. You can see here perfectly set up. They're not going to be able to get the play ball straight away, but perfect use there. Dropping down and staying alive there is Jordan. Just 4 seconds needed left, and it looks like they might be in a position to pick up these final few points with Wryce. Unfortunately, he's taken down, so a lot of chaos around the ball, but look at the team swarming Dethruptor fans. This is going to be it, Justin. They're going to move up 1-0 in this series.
Well, we Dethruptor fans, they clutched it out in that first game, that previous round, Hoots. It was, you know, Malicious, they had that in the bag. They had the setup, but no, Dethruptor fans, they clutched it up, got it over the line, and then a nice deciding victory in that to take game one. Amazing stuff to them. And what does that do to your momentum and your mentality going forward? Having it back and forth, you clutch it up to keep yourselves alive and then end up taking the game. These guys are hot, new, fresh faces within the scene, making a bit of a name for themselves. But we are jumping into this next game, which I'm looking forward to, and it was pretty back and forth in that first game, and Dethruptor fans getting it over the line, but that doesn't mean that Malicious are out just yet. These guys know how to play. We've seen them doing very well so far tonight, and I'd be looking at them to respond to Dethruptor fans and put on the hurt, and I can't wait, Hoots.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw Malicious. I think we were playing on this map with them earlier tonight, and they were performing really well. So we're going to see a bit of a push straight away through to this top area. You know, the camo is often something that can take a little bit of time to be picked up at the start on these maps, as teams just try to decide, is it we go under, we go up on the top. So there is a bit of chaos, but we have seen Dethruptor fans come out to a strong lead 3-0 at the start. So they should be in a position to pick up this camo with Clusey picking up the first 2 kills. So, you know, a bit of chaos at the start, which is what we love in a Slayer, Justin. It can be anywhere, and I'll be interested to see who ends up picking up this heat wave, because we've seen previously on Aquarius that heat wave can be a real difference maker.
It certainly can. Rated trying to get out that player. The Sis Dugs come in to take him out, and look at that. A lot of players fallen. There's a lot of red X's on the blue side, and but still, it's 3-3, completely tied up. But it is very early days so far. Rated checking his angles, trying to rotate through the map, responding to a bit of a call. That does look like he's trying to get himself in there to get some fire down. Hasn't really done a lot, you know, and play-by-play calling it, but he isn't doing a lot. And as soon as he pokes his head out, he just gets double teamed and sent back to the respawn screen. So take 2 next time we see him around. And Clusey with that heat wave ready to go in his pocket in the vertical orientation. One shot and melee takes him down. 3 to the body will take him out also. Look at that. He goes down, doesn't do a lot with that heat wave. Jordan putting shots down across map, grabs himself that thruster, puts in some shots into iZayv, takes him down. 1 kill for him, and they're just going trade for trade at the moment. Hoots.
Yeah, but Dethruptor fans are starting to pull out to a nice little lead here with 4 kills, and you know, we haven't really seen any real team pushes coming out yet. It feels like everyone's playing a bit individually. This camo's popping in 15 seconds, but we're going to see some shots on Jordan across top mid there, making sure the play gets pushed down, and then a nice move in through here. Working well with the team. That's a double kill. They do lose 1 on the way through, but you'll take a 2 for 1 any day of the week. So they're padding out that lead a little bit more, but you know, the 4 kill gap hasn't changed a huge amount, and this camo's about to drop. Unfortunately, a little mess up there from Jordan as he drops drops off from the Clamber, so that camo could have been his for the taking there, but he has to drop down. So I think it's still probably going to be up for a little bit of time as we see. I don't know, John, it just feels like the teams are kind of just poking at each other a little bit. We're not really seeing any team pull away in particular, and there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of team cohesion so far, at least from the point of view of concerted pushes.
Yeah, well, maybe they're just giving each other the respect that they deserve. They, you know, Dethruptor fans, they took out that first game, but they're still like, well, we can't run over these boys. We've still got to play smart. And 7 points the difference right now in favor of Dethruptor fans. On board with Wryce as he's hunting down, flicking through those angles across his mouse pad, finds himself raided, puts in some fire there, not able to secure the kill, does get it over the line, using that thruster, the sneak around the corner, getting his shields back. They're flashing, and here comes the cleanup. Bradl's desperately trying to get rid of him. Wryce is just doing so well to utilize all of that cover and stay alive. Great gameplay from him. Here he comes in, responding to the call out. Zayv in trouble a little bit, trying to utilize some angles. Raided, found in no man's land, trying to duck and weave, doesn't matter. And you know, Wryce, he's putting in so much damage and outputting damage shoots. He's just everywhere and everything, and look at that. Loses that 1v1 in the end. Zayv responding. He needed the shut Wryce down there because he was just performing too well. You've got to shut down players when they're hot.
Yeah, Wryce was on a real tear there. His movement and shot selection was fantastic. A few times he had, you know, shots on one player instead of chasing. He instantly turned, got the call out and looked down and was putting shots in another. And Zayv, yeah, that was huge to shut him down because they were going on a bit of a tear, and this lead has blown out now to 10. A lot of that off the back of Wryce's ability to stay alive. And you can see when he playing on that mouse and keyboard, his ability to turn quickly and change directions, which often can take a little bit longer on controller because the sensitivity is not there as much. But that was huge for his team and has really helped them solidify this lead, now jumping up by 12 kills and starting to make a move around that 30 kill mark, which is when we start paying attention, Justin. But Zayv, you know, doing well to try and stay alive here. Unfortunately, his drop, but camo is going to not get picked up yet. I believe it stayed up top, so no, it's fallen down, sorry. So someone did manage to pick that up, and I think it's fallen maybe bottom mid somewhere. So, you know, they're going to need to start getting these camos in their hands, Malicious, because, you know, as we have said, we're in the elimination bracket now. They're down a game. If they do lose this, they are going home packing. So something needs to come out, and, you know, Shrekmin is leading the team for Slayers equal with Zayv, but, you know, we haven't really seen him much and seen him being able to take off. I'd be interested if we can get a look at him maybe to see how he's going, but great heads up play there by Raided, shooting the grenade out to stop the damage ticking, because if you sit on those electric grenades for a while, Justin, they can drain your shields and kill you pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, they are so annoying to play against, and really good for aerial denial too. And, you know, it's less about kills, but cutting off angles for your teammates. Now I'm board with Shrekmin, and he's putting some damage down across the map, and they are down quite a bit. Dethruptor fans been quite dominant so far, and we are starting to get to that halfway point. We're going to be at the pointy end soon. Malicious, they're in a little bit of trouble. Dethruptor fans are just stomping them right now. 15 points the difference. Now on board with Bradlls. He's only on 1 kill, and there he goes. He dies again. Double-digit deaths for Brad. Unfortunate. And now back on board with Zayv, who's been performing for his squad. He does go down aqolllo, getting the better out of him there. Now on board with Raider, gets a little cleanup, doesn't get the second. Unfortunately, back with Shrekmin, he gets a nice little assist there, but the scoreline really isn't shifting, and Dethruptor fans are slowly running away with this one. Hoots, it might be home time for Malicious.
Yeah, when you have Wryce and aqolllo putting up numbers like they are now, 12 and 6 and 12 and 5 respectively, you know, they're massive positive numbers that makes it just really hard for you to pull back from. And like you said, Bradl's just really struggling on 1 kill and 11 deaths, right? 12 deaths, I should say, sorry. So that's going to be very challenging for them to come back from. Only 10 kills needed for Dethruptor fans, and it looks like they're really starting to get into their groove here. And I'm really loving from Clusey as well. You know, we're seeing 8 assists come out of him and only going -1. So he's not getting a huge amount of kills, but he's staying alive and just putting shots in across the map, and that's all you really want. It's going to be interesting to see his damage given statistics at the end of this game to see if they are relatively high, because it looks like with these kind of stats he is. But Shrekmin with the camo here, moving in here on Jordan. Nice little pick up there. 14 kill gap. It looks like they are starting to eke back just a little bit, but I think it might be too little too late, Justin.
Yeah, a little bit too little too late. Exactly what you said. We've seen some score lines come back before, but when you have the momentum on your side, it's pretty hard to come back. Shrekmin doing everything that he can, does manage to find that 1 kill, 11 points to difference. And having a look at the Slays department right now, we have Wryce and Polar and Jordan all in triple-digit kills, just monster numbers across that entire squad. Shrekmin desperately trying to stay alive. He's doing well to utilize it as much as possible, but runs straight into Apollo. Now on board with Wryce, putting in huge numbers for his squad, sliding around the map and just flicking around. I'm loving this mouse and keyboard gameplay. Finds one play, does run into another two. Unfortunate for him, no help there to keep him alive. Now on board with Jordan, throwing those nades across map, responding to those call-outs, and he cops a grenade to the face there. Didn't even get to pop around the corner, Hoots, and he cops one. But Jordan, 13 and 10 right now, pos 3 and in the double-digit range. Look at that nice little nade placement up there. Doesn't manage to get the kill. Zayv goes down, and Apollo now putting shots onto bradlllzzzz across map. He's a little bit vulnerable just sitting down bottom mid like that. But I mean, with only 3 kills to go, I'd say Dethruptor fans has this one in the bag.
Yeah, the blood's in the water. They can smell it. They're moving in here as a team. It looks like pushing in onto the flag, and we are going to see bradlllzzzz here cop a bit of fire as well as Zayv. Zayv's done really well so far in this game with 14 kills, but unfortunately just hasn't had the help there from his teammates. Only 2 kills left for Dethruptor fans now, and this is when you pretty much just start to charge, because to quote Walsh, you charge because we can't lose. You know, there's no way they can really lose this one at just 1 kill remaining, and it looks like at this point Wryce is just going to be running around like a chicken with his head cut off, just hunting for that last kill. He's obviously wanting to make sure he finishes as the top slayer, and he does there with 16. So Dethruptor fans 2-0ing Malicious. You know, disappointing for Malicious to end that way, Justin. We saw a really good performance from them at the opening of our broadcast tonight. Unfortunately, just Dethruptor fans too good on the day. Wryce was really running riot for a lot of that game, just everywhere. The aggression he has with his mouse and keyboard, Luke, is something to behold, because it just looks so different to what we typically see on a controller player.